Good morning and welcome to the AI Advantage Academy's AI Innovator Spotlight. And I'm delighted to have Becky Hoare here this morning to talk about her incredible journey from being a founder, director, busy mum, to actually writing and becoming a self-published author on Amazon. And I was speaking to Becky before the interview started, and I said, probably out of all of my friends, about 90% of them have said, I'd love to write a book about a particular subject. I think we all have something we're really passionate about and we want to get it into book form. But if we're working, we have children, it usually goes at the bottom of the things to do list. And what I love about your story, Becky, is you're exactly in that situation and you've actually managed to realize your dream and publish your book. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to come along and talk to everybody about it. First of all, I'd really like you to introduce yourself, talk a bit of background about who you are and the business that you run, because I'm sure everybody has at some point seen or heard about your pop-up play village franchise. So over to you.
It's great to be here today and to share my story. So my name's Becky Hoare. I'm a former primary school teacher. So I taught in early years and Key Stage 1 for 8 years. Then after that, I had 2 children. When I was on my second maternity leave, I felt that going back to teaching wasn't going to work for our family. And I had this idea of Pop-Up Play Village. I was looking for something to do with my own children, who were 2 and a baby at the time. And I just said to my husband, why is there not a mobile role play village that goes to village halls? It's not like soft play where you have to do all of the soft play with the children because they can't, they're so small. It's all in a space. You can see your children at all times. It's safe, it's educational. I researched it and it didn't exist. So I never thought about starting a business, but because I had the idea and it didn't exist anywhere, that's how Pop-Up Play Village started. So it's a mobile role play village. We pop up for role play classes, we run birthday parties, wedding entertainment, christening entertainment, we pop up at festivals and fairs, and we work in a lot of schools and early years settings as well. So it literally pops out of the boxes, we set it all up, and we fill the space that we're given with an engaging and interactive role play village for children 0 to up to 11 years old. We can work up to year 6 in schools. So I've been running Pop-Up Play Village for 9.5 years, coming up to our 10th anniversary in November, which is really exciting. We franchised Pop-Up Play Village 8.5 years ago. So our first franchisees were Erica and Frank in Basingstoke and Reading. So yeah, we've been franchised for quite a while. We have 28 franchises across the UK now, as well as 2 school licenses. So we've grown quite a lot over the time. Recently, I have published my book, Playing It Out, The Power of Role Play for Children's Mental Health. So this was published in January 2026, so this year. It's aimed at parents, people working with children, teachers, to use in schools. It's got 10 chapters on the science around role play and how role play is beneficial for children's mental health, as well as being, very educational, links up with curriculum as well. And then it's got 35 role play activities that I've tried and tested in the book. So it can be used in schools and at home using everyday items that we have. And it's a great way to support children's learning as well as support their mental health.
Fantastic. Sounds brilliant. And I'll put a link in where you to buy the book into the description, but it's actually available on Amazon, isn't it?
Yep, it's published on Amazon, yeah.
Brilliant stuff. So talk to us about where you got the idea for the book from. So you're busy, you're running a hugely successful business. What gave you the idea to write a book and when did that idea come about?
Yeah, so in the first lockdown, March 2020, when we had to stop running our Pop-Up Play Village services, we wanted to keep our businesses going over that time. And we also wanted to support the community as well. So I was like, I need to get some activities out to help other families, role play activities that they can do at home using everyday items, because it was hard to get, additional resources at the time. And my children were the perfect age, 3 and 6 years old. And I was like, I'm going to do one activity every morning with them. I'm going to post it on social media so everybody else can have a go at these activities as well. And the lockdown went on for quite some time, and we continued doing that every single day. And at the time, I decided to do it because I knew it was going to support the community as well as keep Pop-Up Play Village going. But what I didn't realise is how much my own children would get from it as well. That was our homeschooling. We didn't have to do any other homeschooling. We did it all through role play. And we've got a scrapbook journal of all the activities that we did to look back on, all the photos. So for the book, I had all the content from 2020. So now in 2026, it's taken me a long time to publish this book. So all the activities tried and tested, had all the text and the content from social media posts ready to go. So that's how it all started. I knew I wanted to do something with the role play activities that I'd created, that I had the content for, but never quite got to the point of, right, I'm ready to publish the book. I felt that the book needed more than just the role play activities. And also time as well. It takes time to write a book and proofread it, edit it. So yeah, that's how the book came about, because I already had the content for it, and I could see the benefits that my own children had from doing those activities.
Amazing. Had you ever written a book before?
No, never. That was also very daunting as well. Not writing a book, never planned to write a book, but I had a vision of what I wanted and how it could be beneficial to other people. And that's what drove me to write the book and get it published.
Brilliant. And what a fantastic reason to write a book, something that you have that is going to benefit other people, which is phenomenal. So talk to us about what that initial process looks like, because before you started to use AI, you did start the process. Is that right?
Yeah, so I had all the role play activities, all the content written out, the benefits of the activities all ready to go. But I wasn't sure how to structure the book, how to start the book, I guess, because I knew it needed to have some of the chapters that it's got in now around the science of role play and the benefits, but I wasn't sure how to incorporate that into the book. And then last year, I developed wellbeing planning for Pop-Up Play Village, which involves working one-to-one with children or in small groups. And we use play therapy techniques and our role play areas to support children's mental health. And this took me down a path of wanting to support children's mental health even further. And I had this spark one day that should be in the book. It should be about role play and how it supports children's mental health. So once I'd got that in place, that helped me, but I still struggled on how to format the book. So what I did, I went on to your course on AI Academy. I took part in the mini MBA course, and I suddenly had a spark of, I could use ChatGTP to help me structure the chapters of the book. That's what I needed help with. So I put in all the information that I wanted the book to include, and it sent me the chapter structure, and it was amazing. Actually, ChatGTP knows the business well, knew exactly what I wanted in the book, gave me the 12 chapters that I needed to format. And once I got that, I just started writing. And I managed to just keep writing the first 10 chapters of the book, which is all around the science of role play and how it supports children's mental health, different development stages for children, and the benefits. And I just wrote chapters. And then I had the content for the role play activity ideas, which there's 35 in the book, and then a conclusion chapter. So yeah, without using AI, I don't know if I'd ever got to the stage of structuring the book. It really helped me work out how I needed to write it.
Amazing. And it's a really good example of how it didn't make you an expert. You were still the expert, but what it did was just come in with some skills that perhaps were out of your core skill set, which is something that happens when we learn how to talk to AI properly with prompt engineering, which was actually how to structure the book. And once you have that framework, then you can visualize it and it makes it so much easier to bring it into fruition. So talk to me about, you mentioned that AI knew your business. How did AI get to know your business?
So, taking part in your AI Advantage Academy mini MBA, you taught us how to train ChatGTP so that it knows the core elements of the business. And the more you use ChatGTP, the more it understands, what you're looking for, what you want help with. So as soon as I put in, I also used the prompting framework that you taught us as well. So I explained exactly what I wanted the book to include, and it just gave me the chapter structure almost instantly with not much tweaking. And I was like, wow, even the titles of the chapters. So then I could just go and write, which was perfect.
That's absolutely brilliant. So the interesting bit at the beginning of the book is obviously the science of role play, etc. So you can see the benefits of tapping into the intelligence of AI. So it had all of that information. If you think about if you hadn't used AI, how would you have gone through that process before, and how long do you think that would have realistically taken you?
I don't know if I would have actually got to the stage of publishing, because that was where I was getting stuck. I'd written the first chapter, but I was like, well, what do I write in the next chapter? And it really broke it down for me. So I don't know if I'd be here today with the book if I hadn't gone to ChatGTP for that chapter structure.
Brilliant. So when it's given you the chapter structure and then it comes to writing the content, how much was it man versus machine when it comes to you working with AI? It doesn't always give us the perfect 100% content, does it? So talk to us a little bit about what that actual process looked like as well.
So I wrote the book using Microsoft Word. So I literally just used AI for the chapter structure, wrote the book myself. Amazing. On Word, wrote the first 10 chapters, then chapter 11 has the 35 role play activities and also explains the benefit of those activities for children's mental health. And then I wrote the conclusion. So it was all written outside of AI. It was written on Word. Once I'd written it, I know from previous experience, I've once published a colouring book via Amazon, and I had trouble getting the formatting right to publish it on Amazon KPD. So I went to ChatGTP once it was written, and I asked for instructions of what I needed to do on Word to format it, get all the bleed, margins, everything right, which I know can be really tricky. It gave me detailed instructions of how to do that on Word. Within 10 minutes, I had the right formatting for the book, which was amazing. Then I put it onto Amazon, onto their KPD, and it approved it straight away. So I was chuffed with that. I was expecting, error messages. No, it was completely formatted correctly. Then I had to go on and do the front cover design and the blurb. So I did use AI for the front cover design here. I wanted something that was meaningful. So this is the child growing, and then the children's mental health, the different emotions, as well as the role play. So it took quite a lot of edits back and forth, but yeah, the front cover was done through ChatGTP. And then I also had help from ChatGTP with the blurb as well, because it knew what the chapter structure was. So it could help me. Otherwise, I'd have probably had a really long blurb that I was trying to reduce down. It made it the perfect amount of text for Amazon KPD. Once I'd done that, it was approved on Amazon, ordered a proof copy, read the proof copy, and then published the book. So it was a very easy process. I was expecting it to be a lot harder. The most time consuming was proofreading the book. So I proofread it twice. That was the hardest thing. But yeah, the actual publishing was fairly straightforward.
That's amazing. So another brilliant example of the fact that it's your expertise. You didn't just farm it out to AI. And I think that's something that people need to really be aware of, is just because you can doesn't mean you should when it comes to AI. So yes, AI could probably go and write the book, but actually you want that expertise, you want your experience, your lived experience and your knowledge to shine through the book, and that's what's going to happen. And the fact that it was able to create that framework for the book. And I speak to people about AI and I say to look at it differently. It's like if you had a new employee coming into your organization and they have PhD level intelligence in the area that you want them to work in, for example, how to structure a book, then they're going to deliver exactly that. So it's really understanding what that use case is and what they're going to be able to deliver. But actually, that it's far more intelligent than we are, because the machines are operating at this PhD level of intelligence. Chat to us a little bit through your image creation, because I know some people find image creation quite tricky, and where you managed to do that through ChatGPT. So just talk to us a little bit about the process of creating images with AI. What information did you need to feed it? It is tricky. You've mentioned you had to go backwards and forwards a few times. So yeah, just chat us through that process a bit.
Yeah, so in terms of imagery, I don't tend to use ChatGPT for imagery with pop-up Play Village, because I find we use photos and things like that and it's just not appropriate. But for the book, because I knew I wanted something illustrated, I just I suggested to ChatGPT to put the plant in for, the growing element, and that I wanted to include role play equipment, and it did put some role play equipment in that wasn't what we had in pop-up Play Village. So I was like, no, I actually want a shopping basket, I want a post box. So it had to be quite specific. Then I said I wanted some kind of emotion bubbles, so I put a lot of detail into what I wanted. It came up with the colors, which I really like, but yeah, it was time consuming, but I wouldn't have had this front cover if I hadn't used ChatGPT. I would have probably used Canva. So yeah, it definitely worked well, and I think it stands out. There's no front cover like it, and it ties in with pop-up Play Village and role play and what I wanted from it. But yeah, it works well if you persist with it. If you're looking for like illustrations on ChatGPT, I found it works well for that.
Yeah, fantastic. And again, your business, your clientele, your market. So it has to be a mixture of real life images of the kids playing and your amazing pop-up Play Villages. If anyone hasn't had a look, please go and have a look. They're absolutely fantastic. Weren't around when my children were little, but they would have absolutely loved it. And again, your market, your customers, and that it's not just, you don't want to just put all AI pictures through your book. It has to be a mixture of reality. Let's go through the Amazon process, because I find that super interesting as well. We have had a question. Did you use the word editor function when you were writing on Word?
No, I didn't. I literally went old school, just plain Word document, and just wrote. And then I was like, well, actually, I probably should have formatted it first before I started typing. But because ChatGPT told me exactly how to format it after writing it, it wasn't too complicated. But initially I was like, I really should have written it so it actually looks like a book, but I didn't. It was literally just A4 type away. But yeah, so yeah, definitely helped me knowing how to format it and what Amazon KPD needed for the book to work.
Wonderful. Let's talk about Amazon KPD for all those budding authors out there that are thinking, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use AI. I want to get published. What does that process look like? How do you get charged for it? And if somebody orders the book, what does that process look like?
Yeah, so once you've got your content and you've got it formatted, it's just a matter of creating an account on Amazon KPD, logging in, uploading your book. It then checks the formatting, checks the front cover size, the blurb, that it all fits. Then you have a choice of publishing straight away or ordering an author copy. I ordered an author copy first because I wanted to see what it looked like before somebody else bought the book, and I also wanted to proofread it as a physical book, because I think it's important to do that. Once I'd proofread it, I clicked publish. It takes around 72 hours for it to get officially published, so it's not an instant thing, and then you get notified when it's live. In terms of royalties, Amazon takes quite a large amount of royalties. It's like the cost of printing the book, as well as the cost of them marketing it, I guess, on their website. So you only get a proportion of the income from Amazon. But what I love about it is that there's no initial cost to start with. So if I published it on somewhere else and paid for, say, 100 copies, that would have been an upfront cost.
Yeah.
Whereas with Amazon KPT, it doesn't cost anything to publish a book, and you earn money for every sale that you get. So they just print it out when there's a sale. So it's a very stress-free way of publishing a book initially. I may look at ordering bulk copies in the future, but at the moment it's working really well for me, and Amazon is the perfect place to promote your book.
Yeah, fantastic. So if you've made a really good point there. So they're selling it, I guess, on a demand. So if somebody buys it, they print one book. But if you ever wanted to change that business model and, like you say, maybe go to a bookshop and want people to sell through a bookshop, that's something you could do as well.
Yeah, definitely. So because I've got the book formatting, I could take it somewhere else and get it printed, definitely, and then have the copies myself and sell them directly from us. So yeah, but Amazon is definitely a safe way to start out, especially if you don't want to invest money initially into printing the book.
Yeah, definitely. The ideation stage where you just want to test the market and see if people are going to buy it. It's absolutely fantastic. So anybody can go in and set up an account. Like you say, doesn't cost any money up front. You just need to provide all the information. You also raised a really, really good point about using AI as a support, especially when it comes to technical stuff. I think everything that I do, I kind of have ChatGPT on the side. Even doing this live stream today, ChatGPT, I'm doing a live stream here, asking questions, and it will give you detailed instructions step by step how to use something, which is such a phenomenal way to use this piece of technology, which is absolutely brilliant. So AI, you are an AI evangelist now by the sounds of things. So talk to us a little bit more about where else you're using AI to help you run your business or even your home life.
So mainly use AI, like you say, for technical things, or research is really good. So if there's something that I'm not particularly sure on, I can go to ChatGPT and ask for its advice first. I've used it for things like developing like goal setting for the business, sales strategy, sometimes content as well for marketing, because it speeds up the process. I think it's really important that everything for the business is a human touch. So I've never used AI to completely, run the business or anything like that, but it's a good tool to save time. And there's certain tasks like admin tasks that it does speed that up, and it means that it allows me more time to focus on the elements that are more important. So I'd say it saved me a lot of time, and I can do more work each day as a result.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. And how have you looked at your business and decided where you're going to use AI and where you're definitely not going to use AI? Because again, as business owners, that's a really important step, that they realize their customer journey, like you've just mentioned there. You know your customer journey, you know where it's really important for that human contact. So how did you go around that process? Because it can be really exciting when you first come across AI and realize how much it can do. But also business owners, we have to pull back and realize, no, there needs to be a human at this stage. How did you do that?
Well, because our business, Pop-Up Play Village, is such a face-to-face business anyway, we go out in the community, we run events, I work with my team. That's all face-to-face. That's nothing that AI can replace, and that's great. So I'd say for us, AI is good as an admin tool to speed up the admin tasks for the business, whereas majority of our business is face-to-face, human connection, working with children, which is the reason we started the business. I still go out and run school visits, birthday parties, so I get that great balance. I use AI for the admin just to speed it up, and it has, it does also help as well, like with the book structure. It helped me work out the chapter structure. It sometimes helps me work out sales strategy and things like that, which does save time.
Brilliant. Sales strategy, absolutely fantastic idea as well. Again, when you've trained AI, really good for people to understand, when you train AI on your business, on your market, even on your competitors, for it to come up with that sales strategy, which is ultimately why should somebody come to your business rather than somebody else's. And it's phenomenal as a strategic growth partner. I teach that a lot in my training courses, just to try and get people to change their mindset about AI being a tactical tool to actually something that can genuinely help you grow your business. We've had another question just saying, does Amazon retain some of the rights to the book that would restrict you from selling it independently?
No, I can sell it independently. No, the rights are 100% mine, which is, really important. Yeah,
that's really fantastic. And what would you say to a business owner out there who is extremely busy and they think, oh, I just don't have time to learn AI and I just don't know how it would benefit me or my business. I'm running my business quite well. What advice would you give to a business owner?
I guess going on an AI course is quite a good strategy. I don't think I would be using AI in the way that I'm doing now if I hadn't been on the AI Advantage course. But I would just say, if there's certain tasks, you look at your to-do list, if there's certain tasks that you think AI could save you time, then just try it out, because that's the key. If you're really busy and you need to cut out time, look at the tasks on your to-do list and see, well, just have a little think, can I use AI to do this? And then you'll save your time, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. And to even to be able to do that, like you say, it's having that training to understand the capabilities of AI. A lot of conversations I have with people are, I use AI a lot in my business, I'm using it already. But actually learning the wide, the breadth of AI and what it can do is so important, so that you can start to look at your things to do list, look at your entire business model and recognize actually AI would really be helpful in that particular area of my business. Well, that's so insightful. Thank you so much for coming along and talking to us about your journey with AI and also about your book. I'm sure you've inspired lots of people to go out there and start writing their book. From your experience of authoring the book, any tips for anybody that's going to sit down and write their first book? Like you mentioned, you'd wished you'd written it within the configurations of the book to start with. Any other ideas or tips for somebody who's sitting there, they've got a blank piece of paper? What are some of the ideas that you would give them?
I would suggest just go for it. And I think what helped me was that I broke it down into small tasks each day. So I didn't set out days where I was just going to focus on writing the book. I would literally just be like, right, I'll do half an hour each day. And that really helped me because it didn't feel overwhelming. And like things like the role play activities in my book. So I had already had the content, but I needed to expand the content and talk about how it benefited children's mental health. So I'd be like, right, I'll do 2 activities today. I'll write that content. And I also had a goal of when I wanted the book published, and I wanted it published in time for Children's Mental Health Week, which was in February. So that helped me as well. If I hadn't had that goal, I don't know if it would be published now, because I was determined that I was going to hit that goal. So I guess having a date that you want it finished and then breaking it down into small segments really helped me.
That's brilliant advice. So having the vision, having the goal, the end point, so important, isn't it? And working your way back from that, and then breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, which is a really good way of coming into it fresh every day, rather than, like you say, trying to get it, okay, I'm going to give myself a week to write a book. You're going to get fatigued. You're going to lose concentration. You're going to probably question why you're doing it. But to actually break it down like that is a really brilliant idea. So thank you so much. And I think something I've got from you as well is actually it's a passion. It's a genuine passion for you, that you saw the benefit for your own children and you really wanted to help other people. And I think that's such a wonderful attitude to have towards anything that we do in our business. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of other things quickly, then I'll jump back into the studio. So if anybody's got any questions, we are going to go into the Q&A time now. So I know we've had a couple, but just in case. But I am going to show you some information about the AI-powered entrepreneur, which is a new one-day course where you will come on to a live workshop with myself, and we'll work through the strategic growth system, the proprietary growth system that I have created, very similar to what Becky went on. Becky went on a 15-week AI course, so that is similar to my mini MBA in AI. But this is a one-day live workshop which will enable you to really develop your brand, understand where you sit in the marketplace and create an AI assistant that will help you create those all-important sales and marketing strategies, which Becky has spoken about there. And then also, if you aren't already, please do become a member of the AI Advantage Collective. It's a community of professionals like Becky and myself that are working collaboratively to implement AI into our businesses. We have a number of free events that take place throughout the month. We have coffee and collaboration, which is great for networking. We have a new questions and answers section where you can ask anything about AI, and I'll answer it. If not, somebody I'm sure in the community will be able to answer it for you, and lots of other things. So I will just show you the QR codes for those. So you can see there's a QR code for the AI-powered entrepreneur. If you can press on that on the screen, and that will take you right through, and it will show you the dates that I have that are taking place in April and in May. I do have a special event happening tomorrow, which is the AI-powered female founder for International Women's Day, but we're full up on that course. So please get yourselves booked in on one of the other courses. And then finally, the AI Advantage Collective. Like I say, it's a free community. We have over 130 members on there at the moment, and everybody is working collaboratively together to really unlock the power of AI, share information like Becky shared with us today. Super interesting stuff. So that's wonderful. So Becky, there has been no more questions that have come up, but you've answered those two already, which is brilliant. So thank you very much. You've definitely inspired me. I have always had lots of ideas for different books, so I'm definitely going to put my plan together, put my vision, have my goal, and start to work with ChatGPT to make that a reality. So thank you once again, and look forward to seeing everybody next month for our next AI Innovator Spotlight. So thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks for